Yeah, so seems like the next talk is by Joe Hamman, which is like one of the recorded talks. And thank you, thank you, thank you, Sylvan, for delivering your talk. It was a pleasure having you.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Joe Hamman, and I'm going to be giving a quick talk on Xpublish, a Python package for serving Xray datasets. So, quick introduction to Xarray. Xray is a Python package that provides a data model and a toolkit that works with multidimensional labeled arrays and datasets. So the data model itself is built on netcdf, so you have multidimensional variables, data cubes like this one that are three-dimensional, but it's arbitrary dimension. Arbitrary dimensions are supported. It has coordinates, so latitude and longitude in this case are coordinates. It has dimensions. X and Y and T are the dimensions of the example data set here. And then it has arbitrary metadata, things like units and variable descriptions. And on top of this data model is built a toolkit that supports a wide range of data analysis and data processing tasks. So things like arithmetic, resampling and group by. It does parallel processing via the Dask library. And then it has a wide range of backends for reading and writing Xray datasets. Second project I'm going to introduce here is Zarr. So Zarr is an open source format for the storage of chunked, compressed multidimensional arrays. The arrays are split into chunks, and then they're compressed with a wide variety of codecs. So BLOSC and zlib are two of the popular ones. The Zarr is in many ways just a specification for a storage format, although there's the Python implementation is the most commonly used one. There are others. There's JavaScript implementations, Julia, C++, and Rust. On the back end, Zarr stores are really just key value interfaces. So you can use a directory, a file system directory. You can use a zip file. Cloud Object Store is supported, databases, etc. This is what our group looks like. So a group is made up of multiple arrays or one or more arrays. And then the metadata for these groups and for the arrays is stored in JSON. So the Z adders, the Z array, or the Z group objects. And then the chunks themselves are binary blobs that are arranged based on their layout in the overall in-dimensional array. And so Xpublish comes in and provides a tool for serving data over the internet. And this is actually not particularly new. We've been reading remote data with Xray for quite a while. So there's a tool called OpenDAP. It's a protocol for serving netcdf-like data over the internet. So here's an example reading a precipitation data set using OpenDAP and Xray, and you point at an HTTP endpoint and you get back a data set. In recent years, we've also done this with FSpec. So FSpec's a library for accessing data over a bunch of different storage protocols. So you can use Xray and FSpec together to do this, and this actually doesn't require OpenDAP, and it's you can just point at an HDF5 file directly. And then finally, there's Zarr. So Zarr supports Cloud Object Store, and the API can read and write directly to the object store, and so Xray supports that as well. So we built Xpublish a couple years ago with the idea that yes, we can read data via the Zarr API in Object Store, but we could also serve Zarr data from an Xray data set. So it's kind of flipping that read API around. And so an Xpublish application is made up of Xray as the data model, a FastAPI front end. And so FastAPI is a Python framework for building web APIs. And then when combined with Dask on the back end, we get a lazy parallel execution framework for serving chunks of Zarr data to client applications. So how this works in practice is you have an Xray data set, and that Xray data set can be served with the REST accessor and some arguments. And then on the client side, you can point to that same that host and that port, and you can open this data set as an Xray data set using Zarr. So some key points here. The first is that Xray or Xpublish supports publishing Xray data sets over HTTP. We use Zarr as the primary router, but additional routers can be added, and I'll talk about that in a second. One of the coolest things about this is this allows for the serving of on-demand data. So, level 3, level 4 data could be computed on the fly rather than stored as a separate copy. And then we're using this at CarbonPlan as essentially as a tile server. We're starting to explore using Xpublish to serve data in Zarr format to our web front ends. So Kate is giving a talk later today on how this works. So yeah, I mentioned before that we have a plugin system for routers, and so the Zarr router is the one that we use mostly now, but we can add additional ones, and there's a pull request open for the XYZ router already. We're looking at multi-scale arrays, basically image pyramids for multidimensional data. And so combining Xray's data tree package, which is just an early stage of development, with the multi-scale spec is kind of a frontier. So you can try Xpublish for yourself. You can pip or conda install it. You can also contribute to the package. It's an open source package. Would love to see more contributors in this space. And if this tech stack or application set is interesting to you, please get in touch. My contact information is here. Great. Thanks for listening.
All right. So that was a talk from Joe Hamman. Seems like it was a recorded talk. So if you have any questions, you can post them on the GitHub.